Hello, my dear children. Myself Sujata. Hope you have revised what we learned in the previous session. In the last class, we learned about Indian monsoon, facts to understand the mechanism of the monsoons, the onset of the monsoon, and its withdrawal. In this session, we'll be learning about four important seasons. The cold weather season or the winter season, the hot weather season or the summer season, advancing monsoon or the rainy season, retreating or post monsoon, the transition season, distribution of rainfall, and monsoon as a unifying bond. Okay, you all know that the climate of India is described as the monsoon type as it is strongly influenced by monsoon winds. This monsoon type of climate is characterized by a distinct seasonal pattern. The weather conditions greatly change from one season to the other. These changes are particularly noticeable in the interior parts of the country. The coastal areas do not experience much variation in temperature, though there is variation in rainfall pattern. Okay, how many seasons are experienced in your place? Okay, there are four main seasons that can be identified in India. They are the cold weather season, the hot weather season, the advancing monsoon, and the retreating monsoon with some regional variations. Okay, first we'll begin with the cold weather season or the winter season. The cold weather season begins from mid November in northern India and stays till February. December and January are the coldest months in the northern part of India. The temperature decreases from south to north. As you know that the south is closer to equator than north. North is surrounded by snow-clad Himalayas, whereas south is surrounded by seawater. The average temperature of Chennai on the eastern coast is between 24 degree to 25 degrees Celsius, while in the northern plains it ranges between 10 degree to 15 degrees Celsius. Days are warm and nights are cold. Frost is common in the north and the higher slopes of the Himalayas experience snowfall. During the season, the northeast trade winds prevail over the country. The northeast trade winds are the winds that blow from land to the sea. As you know, southern hemisphere faces the sun and Tropic of Capricorn gets vertical sun rays. Due to this, tropic area of southern hemisphere comes under low pressure due to high temperature. But conditions in northern hemisphere is quite opposite. Being away from sun, northern hemisphere comes under high pressure. So seasonal reversal of wind direction takes place from high pressure to low pressure. They blow from land to sea, and hence, for most part of the country, it is a dry season. Some amount of rainfall occurs on the Tamil Nadu coast from these winds, as here they blow from sea to land. In the northern part of the country, a feeble high pressure region develops with light winds moving outwards from this area. Influenced by the relief, these winds blow through the Ganga Valley from the west and the northwest. The weather is normally marked by clear sky, low temperatures, and low humidity and feeble variable winds. A characteristic feature of the cold weather season over the northern plains is the inflow of cyclonic disturbances from the west and the northwest. Cyclonic disturbance from the west and the northwest are caused due to the westerly winds, which flow from west to east between 300 to 600 latitude. They originate mostly in the Mediterranean Sea, that is, sea connected to the Atlantic Ocean. These low pressure systems originate over the Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia and move into India along with the westerly flow. They cause the much needed winter rains over the plains and snowfall in the mountains. Although the total amount of winter rainfall locally known as Mahavat is small, they are of immense importance for the cultivation of rabi crops. So, what do you mean by Mahavat? The total amount of winter rainfall. The total amount of winter rainfall is called as Mahavat. And they are of immense importance for the cultivation of rabi crops. Rabi crops are sown in winter and they are harvested in the spring season. And mostly wheat, barley, peas, gram, and mustard are grown during this season. The peninsular region does not have a well defined cold season. There is hardly any noticeable seasonal change in temperature pattern during winters due to the moderating influence of the sea. Okay, next we move on to the hot weather season or the summer season. Due to the apparent northward movement of the sun, the global heat belt shifts northward. As such, from March to May, it is hot weather season in India. So, summer season starts from March to May. The influence of the shifting of the heat belt can be seen clearly from temperature recordings taken during March to May at different latitudes. In March, the highest temperature is about 38 degrees Celsius, recorded on the Deccan Plateau. In April, temperatures in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh are around 42 degrees Celsius. In May, temperature of 45 degrees Celsius is common in the northwestern parts of the country. In peninsular India, temperatures remain lower due to the moderating influence of the ocean. The summer months experience rising temperature and falling air pressure in the northern part of the country. Towards the end of May, an elongated low pressure area develops in the region extending from the Thar Desert in the northwest to Patna and Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east and southeast. Circulation of air begins to set in around this trough. A trough is a belt of low pressure extending to large area. A striking feature of the hot weather season is the Lu. These are strong, gusty, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern India. So, what is Lu? Lu means they are the strong, gusty, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern India. Sometimes they even continue until late in the evening. Direct exposure to these winds may even prove to be fatal. Dust storms are very common during the month of May in northern India. These storms bring temporary relief as they lower the temperature and may bring light rain and cool breeze. This is also the season for localized thunderstorms associated with violent winds, torrential downpours, often accompanied by hail. In West Bengal, these storms are known as the Kal Baishakhi. Towards the close of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers are common, especially in Kerala and Karnataka. They help in the early ripening of mangoes and are often referred to as mango showers. From the picture attached, you can understand the local names of pre monsoonal showers. Okay, now let us discuss about the advancing monsoon or the rainy season. By early June, the low pressure condition over the northern plains intensifies. It attracts the trade winds of the southern hemisphere. These southeast trade winds originate over the warm subtropical areas of the southern oceans. They cross the equator and blow in a southwesterly direction, entering the Indian peninsula as the southwest monsoon. As these winds blow over warm oceans, they bring abundant moisture to the subcontinent. These winds are strong and blow at an average velocity of 30 km per hour. With the exception of the extreme northwest, the monsoon winds cover the country in about a month. The inflow of the southwest monsoon into India brings about a total change in the weather. Early in the season, the windward side of the Western Ghats receives very heavy rainfall, more than 250 centimeter. The Deccan Plateau and parts of Madhya Pradesh also receive some amount of rain in spite of lying in the rain shadow area. The maximum rainfall of this season is received in the northeastern part of the country. Mauziram in the southern ranges of the Khasi Hills receives the highest average rainfall in the world. So, highest average rainfall in the world is received by Mauziram in the southern ranges of the Khasi Hills. Rainfall in the Ganga Valley decreases from the east to the west. Rajasthan and parts of Gujarat get scanty rainfall. Okay, locate these on a map for clear understanding. Another phenomenon associated with the monsoon is its tendency to have breaks in rainfall. Thus, it has wet and dry spells. In other words, the monsoon rains take place only for a few days at a time. They are interspersed with rainless intervals. These breaks in monsoon are related to the movement of the monsoon trough. What is a monsoon trough? It is a part of the intertropical convergence zone where the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere winds meet. For various reasons, the trough and its axis keep on moving northward or southward, which determines the spatial distribution of rainfall. When the axis of the monsoon trough lies over the plains, rainfall is good in these parts. On the other hand, whenever the axis shifts closer to the Himalayas, there are longer dry spells in the plains, and widespread rain occur in the mountainous catchment areas of the Himalayan rivers. Okay, in this map you can see monsoon trough axis has hit the Himalayas causing break monsoon. But these heavy rains bring in their wake devastating floods causing damage to life and property in the plains. The frequency and intensity of tropical depressions too determine the amount and duration of monsoon rains. These depressions form at the head of the Bay of Bengal and cross over to the mainland. The depressions follow the axis of the monsoon trough of low pressure. The monsoon is known for its uncertainties. The alternation of dry and wet spells vary in intensity, frequency, and duration. While it causes heavy floods in one part, it may be responsible for droughts in the other. It is often irregular in its arrival and its retreat. Hence, it sometimes disturbs the farming schedule of millions of farmers all over the country. Okay, now look into the map and understand how the monsoon trough moves northward and southward. Okay, now we will discuss about retreating or post-monsoons, the transition season. During October to November, with the apparent movement of the sun towards the south, the monsoon trough or the low pressure trough over the northern plains becomes weaker. This is gradually replaced by a high pressure system. The southwest monsoon winds weaken and start withdrawing gradually. By the beginning of October, the monsoon withdraws from the northern plains. The months of October to November form a period of transition from hot, rainy season to dry winter conditions. That is why it is termed as the transition season. That is, the months of October to November form a period of transition from hot rainy season to dry winter conditions. The retreat of the monsoon is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. Okay, now look into the map and understand the withdrawal of monsoon. While day temperatures are high, nights are cool and pleasant. The land is still moist. Owing to the conditions of high temperature and humidity, the weather becomes rather oppressive during the day. This is commonly known as October heat. So, owing to the conditions of high temperature and humidity, the weather becomes rather oppressive during the day, and it is termed as October heat. In the second half of October, the mercury begins to fall rapidly in northern India. The low pressure conditions over northwestern India get transferred to the Bay of Bengal by early November. This shift is associated with the occurrence of cyclonic depressions, which originate over the Andaman Sea. These cyclones generally cross the eastern coast of India, cause heavy and widespread rain. These tropical cyclones are often very destructive. The thickly populated deltas of the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri are frequently struck by cyclones, which cause great damage to life and property. Sometimes these cyclones arrive at the coasts of Orissa, West Bengal, and Bangladesh. The bulk of the rainfall of the Coromandel coast is derived from depressions and cyclones. Okay, try to find out the names of cyclones that has hit the coast of Orissa, West Bengal, Bangladesh that has brought great damage to life and property. Okay, now we will discuss about the distribution of rainfall. Parts of western coast and northeastern India receive over about 400 centimeter of rainfall annually. However, it is less than 60 centimeter in western Rajasthan and adjoining parts of Gujarat, Haryana, and Punjab. Rainfall is equally low in the interior of the Deccan Plateau and east of the Sahyadris. Why do these regions receive low rainfall? A third area of low precipitation is around Leh in Jammu and Kashmir. The rest of the country receives moderate rainfall. Snowfall is restricted to the Himalayan region. Owing to the nature of monsoons, the annual rainfall is highly variable from year to year. Variability is high in the regions of low rainfall, such as parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and the leeward side of the Western Ghats. As such, while areas of high rainfall are liable to be affected by floods, areas of low rainfall are drought prone. Okay, now let us discuss monsoon as a unifying bond. You have already known the way the Himalayas protect the subcontinent from extremely cold winds from Central Asia. This enables northern India to have uniformly higher temperatures when compared to other areas on the same latitudes. Similarly, the peninsular plateau, under the influence of the sea from three sides, has moderate temperatures. Despite such moderating influences, there are great variations in the temperature conditions. Nevertheless, the unifying influence of the monsoon on the Indian subcontinent is quite perceptible. The seasonal alteration of the wind systems and the associated weather conditions provide a rhythmic cycle of seasons. Even the uncertainties of rain and uneven distribution are very much typical of the monsoons. The Indian landscape, its animal and plant life, its entire agricultural calendar, and the life of the people, including their festivities, revolve around this phenomenon. Year after year, people of India from north to south and from east to west eagerly await the arrival of the monsoon. These monsoon winds bind the whole country by providing water to set the agricultural activities in motion. The river valleys which carry this water also unite as a single river valley unit. Okay, now let us recap what we have learned in this session. When we talk about winter season, it starts from November and extends to February. Temperature decreases from south to north. Weather conditions, we have warm days, cold nights, frost in north, and snowfall in Himalayas. When we talk about rainfall, cyclonic disturbances cause winter rainfall, locally called Mahavat, and they are very important for rabi crops. Okay, when we talk about summer season, it starts from March and extends to May. Temperature increases from south to north. When we talk about wind, a striking feature of the hot weather season is the Loo. These are strong gusty, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern India. And this is the season for localized thunderstorms associated with violent winds, torrential downpours, often accompanied by hail. In West Bengal, these storms are known as the Kala Baishakhi. Towards the close of the summer season, pre monsoon showers are common, especially in Kerala and Karnataka, and they are often referred to as mango showers, and the pressure will be low. We have rainy season from June to September. The low pressure condition of the northern plains intensifies and attracts trade winds of the southern hemisphere. And the monsoon brings rainfall in entire country except northwest. Another phenomenon associated with the monsoon is its tendency to have breaks in rainfall. When the axis of the monsoon trough lies over the plains, rainfall is good in these parts. On the other hand, whenever the axis shifts closer to the Himalayas, there are longer dry spells in the plains and widespread rain occur in the mountainous catchment areas of the Himalayan rivers. The frequency and intensity of tropical depressions too determine the amount and duration of monsoon rains. These depressions form at the head of the Bay of Bengal and cross over to the mainland. Irregular, uncertain, and erratic monsoons are prevalent in rainy season. Okay, we have also learned about distribution of rainfall and monsoon as a unifying bond. Okay, talking about the transition season, it is between October and November. Temperature is warm. Pressure, it is initially low, gradually replaced by high. Regarding weather, hot days, cool nights, and moist air. Another important feature is October heat. It is caused due to the high temperature and humidity. Now do this activity. On an outline map of India, show the following. Area receiving rainfall over 400 centimeter. Areas receiving less than 20 centimeter of rainfall. The direction of southwest monsoon over India. And another activity, it is from textbook. Refer the table 1 given in your textbook and try to answer all the questions given under it. Okay, hope you have understood. Now try to answer all the questions. Meet you in the next session. Thank you.